I know everybody in Israel and in the Jewish world is cleaning, preparing for Pesach, and finally all of us will sit around the table and tell the stories of Yetzias Mitzrayim, for it's like an obligation. It's in Agoda, כל אדם חייב לראות את עצמו, כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים, already is obliged to see himself like as if he himself went out from Egypt. I, a former prisoner of Zion in Soviet Russia, didn't know any imagination. It really happened with me, and sitting with my children and grandchildren, with my wife at the table, I will recollect what happened with me in my last year, last Seder Pesach, in Russian prison in Gulag. So the story is very interesting. I was in a closed cell for 3 years for keeping Shabbos. It was like a punishment. And all of a sudden, I thought to myself, let's have a real Seder Pesach. I told to my friend, Hillel, he's now living in Ramot, Hillel, let's have a Seder Pesach. He's a very stubborn man, so he told me, forget about that. How can you do it in a prison? It's impossible. Okay, so I decided I will do everything myself, and later on I will invite him to sit at the table. Like a benefit that I had was a small postcard from Israel that was not confiscated, for he had nothing written in it, just a photograph of a Pesach plate, Karat Pesach, from Israel Museum. And it is, I believe, the reason that it was not considered as an anti-Soviet propaganda, for it was simply a very beautiful picture of a plate. But what was special in the picture that there was all the Seder written like Kadesh, Urachatz, Karpas, Yachatz. So it was, I didn't remember exactly how to do. Now I got instruction, and then I looked at the Karat of Pesach, and I understood, I have to have a zroa, and I need a maror, and I had a beitza. Wow, indeed, it's a whole problem how to arrange it. But Ribbon Shalom helped me. All of a sudden, everybody flew in the prison, and the administration of the prison decided that they will distribute to every prisoner an onion. So everybody got an onion and ate it immediately, for it was maybe the first time during the 10 years that I was in prison that finally we had a vegetable. Otherwise we had all, junk food. Everybody ate it, it is very sweet. An onion is very sweet. Everybody enjoyed eating it. But not me, for I thought, when in water, it will bring green leaves, and I can make from leaves a maror, maybe a karpos. So I took some jar, small jar, put it in water, and put on a window. I say window. What a real window! It was grates on grates with some small light going through the grates, but still it was. And I figured that after a month I will got green leaves. Other prisoners laughed and thought, "What? You are crazy! You are not eating it. You are growing flowers in a prison." But I kept quiet. You have to be quiet. Never in prison tell to anybody about your intention. And then I requested matzah. My two sisters were already in Israel, and they did know that before Pesach I am permitted to have 2 pounds of baking bread. That's called bread. Bread is permitted to have. You are not permitted to have vitamins, not chocolate, but bread is permitted. So it was matzah is as well bread. So they gave me the bread that I was permitted to have, that was sent from Israel. But I looked at it, it was breaking in small pieces. I asked the guards, why did you break it in small pieces? And they told, when we looked, and it was a big piece, and there was something written in it. We understood that it is secret letter that your sisters are sending you. So we break it in small pieces that you cannot read the message. But believe me, I read the message very well. So I got everything, almost everything. I got an onion for a maror, and then I thought, I need wine. How can I get wine? I have an idea. When I was under interrogation, and that time when you are under interrogation, you are permitted to have better things. When you are already sentenced, punished. You are not permitted to have almost anything. My father, Olav Shalom, sent me 2 pounds of raisins. So I got the raisins, and having them for 10 years, each Shabbos I would make from 2 raisins Priya Geffen. I understand that it's not exactly, but really raisins are Priya Geffen. And somebody told me that there is a halacha that says that there is no way you can make a kiddush on Priya Geffen on this way. So I economized, and after 10 years of a prison, I still have a handful of raisins. So I figured that I can make wine from the raisins. I collected sugar every day. We will get a small spoonful of sugar, and normally when you are getting sugar, everybody is swallowing it. You know, people enjoy at least to have something sweet. You sit and you dream you have like a cake. But not me. I collected it for several days, and finally I got some 100 grams of sugar. So I took the jar put some water inside, put inside my raisins, and having it, I put a cork on it, and I put under my bed in a prison, there was like a pipe of hot water. So I figured that maybe it will make wine. So I put it down there, and then I noticed once walking to a walking yard, to exercise yard. I have to describe you what's about the exercise yard. It's small rooms on the top of the building of the prison. The difference between a real cell and this exercise yard is that they don't have a roof. There is only grates on the top of the walls, so you can breathe some fresh air. And it's like small cells that each cell is walking from his cell to this special cell. And then I noticed that across my cell, something is growing under asphalt of the exercise yard, like leaves like this one, and eating herbs. When I was before that, I was in a regular compulsory labor camp. It was positioned in open space, and there were herbs growing. We would eat it for its vitamins. So I saw this herb growing from under the asphalt. And I thought, what a beautiful symbol. Like this small leaf is able to break through and thick asphalt. It's like a symbol of freedom, that even this small leaf is striving to sun, to fresh air like me. So I decided I will use it for carpets. Just not, they wouldn't stamp their foots on it. So every day, walking to my exercise yard, I looked across and looked whether it's still alive, and it still continued growing up. I enjoyed it. And then I have a problem of zroa. Never we would eat chickens, you know. I couldn't have a zroa, but people from Kibbutz Yavne once sent me cubes, like soup, kosher soup from chicken. So I decided this piece of names I will use for zroa. So I arranged everything, and then I had a problem where I can get a plate. I can use a plate of this postcard. I have an idea. Every day we were given Pravda. It's a famous newspaper telling the Pravda, means all the lies of a communist regime. This time I decided I will use it for a better purpose. So I asked the guard to give me a rich Pravda. I'm very interested to read the Pravda. And I made from a page of this newspaper, torn it in pieces and made a plate. It's this time Pravda used a really good purpose. So I put everything on the table, my maror and my karpas and my zroa, and then I asked my friend Hillel, let's sit and have a beautiful Seder Pesach. He told me, forget about that. I told you it is impossible. So it was covered. So I opened my plate. He looked at it and he told, indeed, everything. You have everything. But he told me, you don't have wine. Without wine, you can't do Pesach, arbekoises. And then I took down from my from my board, under the board of the prison, this bottle, and I never checked it, for I was afraid that if the guards would they watch you what you are doing, if they will find that I have something like that, they would immediately confiscate it. So I was not quite sure that I managed to do wine, but Hillel opened the cork, smelled it, and he told me, "Oh, it's real wine. So let's sit and have a real Seder Pesach." So I wrote in small pieces of paper the whole Seder Pesach, telling about Yitzias Mitzrayim and our dream about going out from Soviet Russia. And when we finished the Seder Pesach, Hillel told me, "You know what? For the first time in my life, I had a real Seder Pesach al pi halacha." I thought to myself, it's really a symbol of depression that you have to get in a prison to have a real Seder Pesach. But the real miracle happened a day later. In the morning of the same day, Hillel was called out with all his belongings from my cell, and it meant normally that he is removed from this prison to another prison. So I tried to find out in what prison and what's the reason that he was removed. Nobody did know until by chance I walked in an exercise yard, this small room, next to the exercise yard of the chairman of a Jewish agency. Nowadays, that time he was like prisoner like me, Nathan Sharansky, and I told him, "Hey, Nathan, do you know what happened with Hillel? He disappeared." He told me, "What? You don't know? The very day he was released with all your friends from this hijack plot, and he is already in Israel." And it was real miracle. Imagine out from the prison, having the Seder Pesach, al pi halacha, he was really released, and from Egypt of Soviet Russia went to Israel. And there was a personal miracle as well, for I had, and I have sisters there in Israel, and they were very bothered with my conditions. So when they met Hillel, that they did know that we were together in a cell, they asked me, "What's happening with my brother? He is still alive." Hillel told, "What? We had a Seder Pesach," and he explained in small details. So my sisters were glad to know that even in a prison, you can be a Ben Chorin, a free man. It depends on you and not on the conditions. Now I wish to everybody sitting at the table, remember people that are still in Golas, and remember all the hardships that Am Yisrael went through during the hard days. And remember that we are still on our way. It is still halfway. For we say, Shana Haba b'Yerushalayim abnuya. We have to achieve, to build real Yerushalayim, to bring all Jews from the whole world together. It will be another step, and we have more steps to real freedom. I wish the Shana Haba b'Yerushalayim. And remember, if people say something is impossible, everything is possible if you really, really want it and love it. I love Am Yisrael, Eretz Yisrael, Torah Yisrael, everything is possible.